Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, my name is Najmi bin Norzaidin. Student ID 2019612246. Supervisor is Muhammad Isa bin Abdullah. Welcome to my presentation. To my panel prof, Madya Dr. Muhammad Isa and all viewers. Today I'm going to present about my viva, that is the impact of industrialized building system implementation on construction project in Johor. Okay, next we move to the introduction part. Industrialized building system (IBS) is a new method of construction compared to the conventional method that produce the construction material is assembled on site. IBS system technology brings a systematic system that can change the current scenario and problem happen in national construction industry. Okay, for the IBS definition, IBS is defined as a construction technique in which components are manufactured in a controlled environment, which is on or off-site, transported, positioned, and assembled into a structure with minimal additional site work. Compared to the conventional construction method, for the conventional construction method is one of the earliest approach practiced in the construction industry, which does not involve with the material or finishes component manufactured by factories. The conventional method of construction refers to the execution of construction work at proposed site. Okay, implementation IBS gives advantages to the developer and indirectly ensure a more efficient and organized construction site, and reduction of completion time of construction can be achieved. Okay, next we move to the problem statement. Problem statement related to this study is the rate of IBS used by activists from the private and public construction industry is still low. Furthermore, conventional construction method incurs high cost for construction, taking into account the expenditure for labor, raw material, transportation, as well as the required lengthy construction period. Despite the high demand generated by Malaysian construction activities, which has attracted a large number of foreign workers to work as cheap, unqualified labor in this region, the country still faces enormous construction industry problems such as low quality performance, delay, and wastage of construction components. Okay, next we move to the research objective. The purpose of this research objective is to study and identify the impact of implementation of IBS in Johor. The objective of this study first is to identify risks and barriers of industrialized building system IBS implementation in Johor. For the second objective is to investigate the perception from construction players regarding the core reception of IBS in Johor. Okay, next let me move to the research methodology part. This research was using primary and secondary data collection. For the primary data is collected via survey interview conducted with respondent. This data collection and analysis based on the interview with the respondent, which is consists of manufacturer, contractor, and IBS consultant. The interview question consists of 10 questions which have been prepared before interview conducted. The questions were designed and emphasized into smaller scope will consist of 4 sections. For the literature review of related article, literature was conducted to achieve the first objective, which is to identify risks and barriers of industrialized building system. Implementation was achieved using this research methodology stage. Literature review stage, it is reference from electronic journal, books, magazine, and article from previous research. Main objective do literature review, it is for further enhance understanding on the research topic, which is industrialized building system. Okay, now moving on to the first analysis and finding. For the first objective, which is to identify risks and barriers of industrialized building system implementation. These objectives have been discussed in chapter 2, which is literature review, in which supported review and opinion from previous researchers on the risks and barriers of industrialized building system. Okay, Four main risks and barriers of industrial building system was identified, which is first is lacking in professional skilled worker, second cost and financial barrier, third one is project delivery and supply chain, and the last one is the perception of the contractor, buyers and community. The second objective, which is to investigate the perception from construction players regarding the cold reception of IBS in Johor. From the analysis table for objective 2, divided into 4 sections, which is from personal interview. The respondent consists of manufacturer, contractor and consultant. For the category 2, question regarding the impact of IBS construction method being asked. Okay, firstly, the impact of IBS construction in Johor is the duration of construction will be fast. Furthermore, the development in Johor will be faster compared to other states. Okay, two respondents mentioned that IBS implementation give faster completion of construction project. Next is category 3, issues and problem on adoption of IBS. The main issues mentioned by all respondents is negative perception from industry stakeholder. Okay, the construction players itself don't want to change from conventional method of construction to IBS construction system. Okay, negative perception to IBS such as IBS difficult to install, high capital to change to IBS, additional cost on professional time training. Other than that, lack of supplier of IBS component also one of the issue and problem of implementing IBS. Furthermore, for category which is CIDB campaign involvement, all respondents agree that promotion campaign by CIDB not done on a large scale to construction player. Okay, the contractor developer need to take on action effort to gain knowledge, skill about the implementation of IBS. For the discussion part, this research find that there are lack of incentive and program from government and CIDB to promote IBS construction method. Other than that, for the impact of IBS construction method, IBS can reduce construction wastage at the site project. Other than that, the duration of the IBS project more fast compared to the conventional construction method. Okay, all respondents agree that the lack of knowledge and professional be the main reason why construction players afraid to change to IBS construction industry. Supply chain barrier also be one of the crucial problem implementing IBS in Johor. Respondent also mentioned that difficult to find IBS supplier. There are limited number of IBS supplier in Johor. Okay, for the last part is conclusion. Okay, this research is conducted to give the contribution that related to the IBS implementation in Malaysia. Furthermore, to encourage comprehensive IBS implementation in construction project in Johor, CIDB and Malaysian government shall play a role in promoting IBS by conducting comprehensive promotional campaign and providing incentive to contractors using IBS technology. Lastly, the full use of IBS in the future can be even more exciting construction industry in Malaysia, and it is able to raise the image of the country inside the construction industry of this country. That's all from me. Thank you.